What's the maximum number of worksheets an Excel workbook can handle? Well, in the Microsoft documentation, it says limited by available memory. So there isn't a set number like there is with many things. My MacBook Pro has 64 gigabytes of memory, but I am using Excel on a virtual Windows. So who knows? But the best way to find out is to run a little experiment. Now, I'm not going to put my index finger under unnecessary strain by clicking on the mouse button over and over to add worksheets. That might cause a case of RSI, which we don't want. So instead, I'll be using this VBA macro I already have set up to do the task. It's very simple to understand. I'm using a loop statement to add a set number of worksheets according to the value stated, which is 10 in this example. That's what I'll begin with, and I'm very certain it will pass the test. There we go. But the point is, this is a trial and error exercise, so I'll start off small and get rapidly bigger and bigger until Excel is completely and utterly overwhelmed by the sheer number of worksheets. So let's crack on with it and see how it goes. You might think adding 1,000 sheets to 4811 would produce 5811, but it's only gone up to sheet 5452. However, what's interesting is sheet 5451 has become the active tab, even though it's the second one along. Now, what happened at this point is Excel froze for a good 20-odd seconds. I literally couldn't do anything. Then it crashed. So I reopened the workbook and calculated I needed to add 640 more worksheets to get to 5451, which I strongly suspected was going to be the highest reliable limit. And this time there was no weird behaviour. It didn't freeze, it didn't crash, and I could select cells, enter data, and even run formulas. Clearly, 5452 worksheets was one too many, even though initially it looked promising. It goes without saying, though, just because you can, it doesn't mean you should. In reality, you're probably not going to go past a dozen worksheets, but it's nice to know what's possible. So feel free to have a go yourself. Remember, open the VBA editor using Alt and F11, create a new module, paste the code I showed earlier, adjust the number, and press the play button to run it. Let me know how it goes on your machine.